The last is not heard just yet over the Atiku gate, which engulfed the internet, has become a mainstream media conversation now. The Presidential Campaign Council of the APC went to town yesterday in a World Press Conference accusing the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar of corruption based on some of the viral video that was released by Mike Achimogu, who said that he had initially worked with Atiku Abubakar. But yesterday, Senator Dino Melaye, the spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, denied that that man had any official appointment with Atiku Abubakar. But a lot of people, maybe you're not the ones who check the internet or social media, or you're perhaps asking yourself, what exactly is this all about? And a lot of you were asking the question yesterday on the program about this Atiku case. What exactly is it all about? Well, I'll play you a portion of the video where Mike posted online. Well, I can tell you that China's television is not able to authenticate that source of that video, but it's been one thing that has generated controversy and will be part of the conversation tonight. I'd like you to listen to that video.
So I should go and check. The money was paid to a company.
Marine float, yes, sir.
No, and marine floats of those three companies.
He said that you own marine float.
I never. There is no way. Let them go and check our articles of association. I own marine.
That's all. Thank you so much, Daddy. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
But that's just a portion of it, actually. But, well, look, let's get into the conversation. And perhaps you'll be wondering, why is the APC concerned about this? What Senator Dino Melaye said yesterday also gave them a reason to say they would like to respond to what was said on the program. And tonight I have joining me Senior Advocate of Nigeria and the spokesperson of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Mr. Festus Keyamo. Thank you so much indeed for coming.
Thank you for inviting me today.
Yeah. That portion, of course, there are other parts of that video which, if we are forced to play on the program, we might be able to do that. But that portion where Mike said it's the voice of Atiku Abubakar, although it has been denied by the PDP to say it's being a forged or doctored voice of Atiku Abubakar. And in fact, part of that conversation yesterday was Senator Dino Melaye said that man was never officially engaged by Atiku, his family, or the PDP. So why does this bother the APC?
Well, thank you. As the discussion progresses, I will want your people at the consoles to roll back that tape and start it from when that voice of Atiku came on. That is not the important portion Nigerians want to hear. When Atiku started that phone call is the most important. So as we talk, once they get that portion, they should please play it for Nigerians to see, because they want to elect a man who has a very dubious, past. But let me explain. Let me explain.
Based on your... when you say when you say someone has a dubious past,
yes,
you need to be able to give evidence of that. So it has not been confirmed by any court of law that he has a dubious past.
So let me explain for you.
No, I'm trying to say so that you're not being libelous on the program tonight.
There have been Senate confirmations here and there that indicted him, but we'll come to that.
But I mean,
both here
no
and
court
the US,
of law has not indicted him.
Well.
So, Senior Advocate, would you like to withdraw that?
Well, I will not withdraw it because I can.
Why would you not?
I'll defend it anywhere. I want him to sue me for defamation. I'll defend it anywhere.
But
I have records.
This platform is also going to be joined. You're a lawyer, so you understand.
Well, I will indemnify you.
No,
I
you
said this on there.
because you've said it.
I will indemnify you.
It doesn't work like that.
Now, let me explain.
So because I like it, because you need to be able to defend what you said about that dubious...
That's what I want to present.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Now, let us start this conversation by looking at the credibility of the source, the authenticity and credibility of the source of the information. Any good journalist or even investigator, that's how you start. When you get a whistleblower's information, the first thing you do is to profile that person and say, is this credible? This source, is it credible or authentic? And how do you do that? Now, we have seen photographs of this man, of this informer, this whistleblower, with Atiku Abubakar all over the world. If you have those pictures, you can show Nigerians for them to see. I have them here. But you can go to the internet and go to his Twitter page. All his pictures are there, all over the world. You have seen emails, private emails, which we have authenticated between Atiku Abubakar and himself. Very private emails that they exchanged over the years. We have confirmed that. We have seen letters of appointment, which of course, one of, this spokesperson, the Garula spokesperson, came to say yesterday, and he was denying it openly. Look, the letters of appointment were signed by Raymond Dokpesi. Another one was signed by the son, Mohammed Atiku Abubakar, the son of Abubakar. And of course, the other one was signed by Benga Daniels when he was still with Atiku Abubakar as his campaign manager in 2018. Now, we want these individuals to come out and deny these letters. We want these individuals to come out and write a petition that their signatures were forged. So we have a credible source, first of all, to follow up on the whistleblower's whistle. We have also seen not only letters of appointment, we have seen, like I said, we have seen emails, we have seen photographs, and we have also seen the affidavit he sworn to, authenticating the facts that he has put out. Now, so that is the first part of this conversation, the authenticity of the source. We can then, confirm it. The second one, really, is to confirm the corroborating evidence around the information contained in that video clip or that audio clip. In other words, the question you should be asking yourself is that the information that was contained in that audio clip, do you have other corroborating evidence that confirms that such, transactions took place? Now you know that Joshua Dariye was convicted on this same issue. So that is a public issue I'm talking about now. So, I'm not making things up. One of the counts upon which Joshua Dariye was convicted upon was that there was 100 million naira he took from the Plateau State account and paid to this same Marine Float account. And in his confessional statement to the EFCC, at that time, before they, charged him to court, I prosecuted for the EFCC, I've been a prosecutor all these years. He said that this money was a money he gave to Atiku Abubakar. And you can hear in the tape that Atiku Abubakar said, well, what I did was, he was boasting that they couldn't trace it to me. He paid it into Marine Float. And that was the account. That's why I said we need to play that tape from the beginning, where Atiku Abubakar said, look, when they came into office, the first thing they decided that he approached Obasanjo, then his boss, and said, how do we get money out of the system? And then he said, give me 3 names. He told Obasanjo, give me 3 names. Those 3 names, I'll use them to form a company. And that is a company by which we are going to house slush funds. What were they going to do with these 3 companies? One of these companies was Marine Float. That contracts coming out of government departments and agencies. Imagine a situation where a president and vice president was all over the place looking for contracts from government agencies, and that they will now use these companies as consultants to warehouse these slush funds. Once they get contracts, they will now, these companies will now pose as consultants, and they will get monies out, pay them into this company, and those are the slush funds that they were using to run both the PDP, their private businesses, and of course, their family businesses. That, of course, is what Atiku Abubakar said in that tape. Now, the second corroborating evidence is that this Marine Float is not coming to public consciousness for the first time. You are an ex-journalist, I know that, and so you cover these things over the years. Ask any old journalist in this country. The Marine Float account was a controversial account between 1999 and 2007 when they left office. In 2006, and I want you to Google it and fact-check it, PDP, in the height of the quarrel of, Obasanjo and Atiku when they were in office, PDP asked Atiku Abubakar to officially they asked him to refund 500 million naira he took from the Marine Float account. It was a PDP, statement that they issued at that time. They were asking him, Atiku Abubakar, return 500 million naira you took from the Marine Float account. So these are corroborating evidence to show that even the content of that voice note was authentic. It was not. So let's take it one after the other. Okay. So now
two things here,
Yes.
which Senator Dino Melaye was speaking for the APC. And
for the PDP.
And for the apologies for the PDP.
Yes.
And also we heard Frank Shaibu on Sunday on this same matter also say, look, this man does not in an official capacity work for Atiku Abubakar. Is that enough for you as a party to take home? Because if you are going to court, on what capacity and in what reference are you going to tie Atiku Abubakar and Mike Achimogo?
Now, I'm sure you have seen these letters of appointment. And in this letter of appointment, even the email by Tumbak Benga Daniel that they sent to him in 2018, you can see the very personal relationship there. In that email, Otumbak Benga Daniel told him that, look, His Excellency told me to ask you to choose any role you want to play within the campaign. That is how close they were.
This was in 2018.
Look at it. He said, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar asked me to convey to you his decision for you to choose any role you like to play within my campaign. It shows that there was a prince. We have authenticated these emails.
Yeah, okay. So
we have done that already.
So Mr. Dino Melaye said, look, these are people around Atiku Abubakar. You have not been able to link Atiku Abubakar himself to all of this. So
you mean that, after this email, there were private emails exchanged between him and Michael Achimogo, very private emails, about the SPV we are talking about now, that voice note. There were emails preceding the phone call. Where were these emails? Very private emails. That shows the kind of amity, the kind of closeness.
But those private emails have not surfaced.
I have seen them. I have authenticated them. But they have surfaced. Look at them.
Hold on.
Can I flow?
Oh, just a moment. I'd like to ask you a question. Did you sponsor Mike?
If you ask me that means you ask me whether I sponsored the G5, for example. These are internal contradictions. This is a man who cannot hold together your household, your party, your aides around you. How do you want to rule Nigeria?
So now,
how do you? No, let me flow. I need to flow.
No,
I need to flow.
Senior Advocate, this is a program which we are trying to give information to Nigerians, and we need to break it down so that we are not going off the issues. Now, the first issue is there's an allegation by the PDP that this is a sponsored endeavor by Mike, by the APC. Now, are there alliances by your party with Mike Achimogo?
We have none. So how do you expect for them? What do you expect them to say? I mean, somebody comes on air with all these myriads of evidence. They have no modicum of shame. These are the type of people who are asking for Nigerians to vote for them. No modicum of shame at all. No iota of shame.
This is the response of the PDP. And they're saying, having been suffocated in the campaign space and looking for a shortcut to a far-fetched and improbable electoral success, the media gang of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, in pitiable agony, struggle to clutch to a straw by placing their hope in an empty vessel who is capitalizing on the desperation of the Tinubu and his dreamers to sell fairy tales for a fortune.
Well, we will know whether there is fairy tale when we get to court. In the case when they challenged my principal, when they brought up dead documents from the US, remember it was on this program, I said, go to court. Come out with your full chest, can go to court. Up till today, they ran away. I am going to court, Shehu. And so, if they wish this thing away, it will not go away.
On what basis?
I will continue to ask. There were three.
On what basis are you going to court?
You see, I do this under three capacities.
Okay.
First of all, I am a member of the INABA who have sworn to defend and uphold our laws. First of all. Secondly, I'm an ordinary concerned Nigerian who has a right to bring perpetrators of crime to book. And that's the case of Fawemi against Akilo. That the Supreme Court established that principle. And thirdly, even before I was appointed minister, I was an active prosecutor for the EFC for more than 15 years. And so I have a duty to help them to also follow up on whistleblowers. So I have that duty to
you send the petition. You send petition.
Yeah, I've sent the petition already.
And there are receipts to that petition.
Oh yes, there are receipts. I can show them on air. There are receipts to that petition by 3 law enforcement agencies: the Code of Conduct Bureau, the Independent Corrupt and ICPC, and of course the EFCC. They all have roles to play in this because offenses presumably have been committed against the Money Laundering Act, the Code of Conduct Act, and of course the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act. And I can cite all the sections that they have breached, that Atiku Abubakar have breached in all of these laws. And so So like I told you before, to show the authenticity of anybody's claim, tell the person to go to court.
Let me ask you.
I am proceeding to court. And look, if Asiwaju says, Festus, you are diverting for my campaign, don't campaign for me again, I'll say, please take your campaign. Because this is national interest.
So you have taken it personal?
I've taken it personal. It's it's national interest at this time.
So let me ask you. So should you go to court? And this is what is sometimes the Supreme Court. You are very familiar with that terrain. It's sometimes how the Supreme Court sees some of these issues.
You know, in the last 30 years, I have taken so many of these cases to court.
Yeah. So the point I'm making is this: you take this case to court,
yes,
and it does look like you wanted an opposition out of the way. Perhaps you were too afraid that you might be defeated by that opposition, and that is the reason why you want to do that. Are you thinking maybe you could wait until after this election before you take this up?
Let me explain to you. In the heat of the campaigns for the U.S. presidency in 2016, in the middle of the campaigns, few weeks to voting, the FBI opened up investigation into the Hillary email saga, where it was alleged that as Secretary of State, she was using private emails to transact public, businesses. And of course, in the US, that's a serious offense. And the FBI did not care whether she was a candidate of the Democratic Party. They didn't care. An offense had been committed, an issue was before them. They opened up investigation. And they referred that file to the Justice Department for prosecution. In the heat of campaigns, even close to voting, those are insane crimes. Why do we go this route in Nigeria? To say that all the time is this, feeling of persecution because somebody is a candidate. It does not confer immunity on him. It does not confer immunity on him. Look, any Nigerian listening to that tape, any Nigerian seeing these facts should be genuinely angry himself inside. We should be boiling as Nigerians to say, how do you do this at the highest level to us? The president and the vice president colluding to form companies, to steal money from the public treasury, to run their private businesses. And it was that time they established Bell University and American University. So we know where those funds came from now. We know where those funds came from. So whether Atiku Abubakar wins or not, of course I know he's not going to win, but whether he wins or not, I'm prepared to face persecution under his government for doing this. I'm prepared to go to jail, I'm prepared to go to prison, I'm prepared to be charged, I'm prepared to be persecuted, even if he wins as president.
Let me allow you, this is the portion where you were making reference to.
Yes, please.
And this is for the benefit of the very viewers who are watching us tonight, who are looking for perspective on exactly what Mr. Festus Keyamo is talking about. Take a listen to this portion of the viral video.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
You asked me what is LTV, so I should go and check. The money
was to be sure before I start asking, yes, sir.
Marine Float. The company, they outside
you own Marine Float.
I never owned that. The office, again, open corruption.
Thank you so much, Daddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prepare 3 companies, the subscribers.
Okay, sir.
Like if they give you fee,
yes,
and that fee, to fund the party, engaging open sense of Fashaway and the late this guy from North State who died in that time. So I now incorporate them as subscribers. The companies was Marine. So this governor sent it to Marine Float.
Yes, sir.
One of the subscribers, Otumba Fashe, very investigated by years, that there was nothing. So we just went to it back at it. Went to Simple Float was an SP created as a consulting company. Was the way I handle it. Yes. So that was what I was bringing you. No money was given.
It's as the time draws close with a lot of one needs to be able to be countering them. Yes, sir. I would tackle him later.
So I should go and check. The money was paid to a company.
Marine Float, yes, sir.
And Marine Floats of those 3 companies.
All right. That's a portion. If need be, maybe other portions that might drive out this conversation. The monies, according to former President, Vice President Atiku said, was paid to a Marine Float. And I was asking on what premise are you going to court? Because these monies are not paid directly to Atiku Abubakar, and he's made it very clear in that tape. But again,
you just asked a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me read to you section 19. I have many sections to read: Money Laundering Act, Misappropriation and all that, Penal Code. But let me read to you the Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Act 2000, section 19. Any public officer who uses his office or position to gratify or confer any corrupt or unfair advantage upon himself or any relation or associate of the public officer or any other public officer shall be guilty of an offense and shall on conviction be liable to imprisonment for 5 years without option of fine. That is how serious this offense is. It is not an option of fine. They won't say slap on the wrist, pay 2,000 and go home. No, you must go to prison. That is what this section says. And that's exactly what Atiku Abubakar and OBJ did. Nigerians in their homes today now should go to bed very angry that this is what the kind of criminal enterprise that people at the highest level under the PDP government did to this country. And that was the same time that other people like, I'm sorry, I have to be, biased here, people like Asiwaju was toiling to build Lagos. That was the time they were holding back funds from Lagos, local government funds, on this same period that they were running an enterprise of criminality in Abuja, a president and vice president. Nigerians should go home very angry this night about this revelation.
All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, there are other aspects, perhaps a few ends here and there that are not, gelling, which I like Mr. Festus Keyamo to speak about. I'll pose those questions when we return from this break. It's still on the Atiku Gate saga and the APC's concern. We'll be right back, everyone. Join us again. Everyone. Yeah, of course, the last is not heard about these Atiku Gate matter. The APC is not taking this line low. They did a word press conference. Perhaps the first time that you see the media directorate of the APC unite in public, and we saw them yesterday, and now the spokesperson of the APC says he has taken it personal and he will be pursuing this legally. Mr. Festus Keyamo has been speaking with us on the program tonight. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us.
Yes, thank you so much. Can I just mention this quickly? That before the PDP can come out again and with all this evidence out in public now, the pictures and all, they were trying to deny before, but now the thing has been blown open now. Their lie has been blown open. Before they can proceed, in any TV station now, they must show us a petition by Dr. C, by Abubakar's child Atiku, and Benga Daniel. So say our signatures and emails were forged. Because that's what will convince Nigerians. They should write petitions. I'm challenging them now. Write petitions to the law enforcement agencies that your signatures were forged. I'm challenging Dr. C. I'm challenging the Atiku son. I'm challenging Benga Daniel. That's one. Secondly, I'm challenging Atiku Abubakar himself to write a petition to the law enforcement agency that my voice was forged. Now you see them saying that we are not going to say anything about this again. I said, no, it's not the end. We must say. I must ask questions until answers are provided. Write a petition, Atiku Abubakar, to law enforcement agencies that your voice was forged. Shehu, as credible as you are, do you think somebody can come up to us and say, Shehu, this is your voice? You will be angry. It's outrage. You will be the first to write a petition. And the more they deny, the more there's a need for investigation, because if you are denying, that means the law enforcement agencies must investigate. So that even if the boy is lying, you bring him to book.
All right, let's take a look at this. And if you look at this critically, the claims now is that Mike Achimogu worked with Atiku Abubakar. They've denied it. But the appointment, and I would like to look at the two letters, of course. The one that is purportedly signed by Engineer Aleo Dokpesi, and it's dated 1st September 2021. And the other one, allegedly signed by, or purportedly signed by Muhammad Atiku Abubakar, Chairman Atiku Support Organization, also dated in the same month, yes, September 5th, 2021.
Benga Daniels.
Those are letters signed in 2021. But I'd like to ask, support groups, are they official? I mean, you are a politician, so you know. Are the support groups official group of a person or a candidate? And I assume that several people can raise a support group in your interest.
You can.
Does it mean that they are linked to you?
You can serve in any capacity once you are close to somebody. Any capacity.
You can see
the political letter. Structure. I want you to connect that to the letter of Benga Daniels.
Okay, I'm going there.
Yeah, so
but I'm asking.
No, but that connects it.
So there are people, if you are...
That letter says, that email says, please choose anywhere you like to serve. Anywhere. Just a moment.
There are irregularity in those communications, but I'll get that in a moment.
Yes.
So, but I'm asking,
yes,
can you say that someone who is in a support group is actively working for a person?
Every group is a support group. Every group is a support group. A candidate does not campaign himself.
How many support groups does the APC have?
As many as possible.
Maybe like 1,000.
And as many.
Or 500.
But they are the ones
so
recognized officially.
Does Bola Tinubu know everyone in that?
No, but the ones he communicates with. Have you seen the private emails?
So let me
hold on. Have you seen the private emails? And then the one by Benga Daniel shows that there was a previous relationship. Please emphasize that to say, His Excellency said I should communicate with you. Choose anything you want to do for me within my sector, political sector. That means before the campaigns came on stream, he had a personal relationship with Atiku Abubakar. Look at those pictures. There were pictures taken in the private sitting room of Abubakar in Dubai, far away Dubai. He was traveling with this boy all over the world. He was traveling with him all over the world. It was not just some kind of support group and some kind of... No. How did you take him to your house in Dubai so many times? How? How did you get there? How?
So let me show you this. So if you look at all those letters, they were signed 2 years ago, September 2021. Look at the email to purportedly signed by Otumba Benga Daniel. Just that email is in 2018.
Exactly, to show that the relationship goes way back.
No, hold on. So the question I'm asking, if this guy was appointed in 2021, how come there is a relationship in 2018?
I mean, that question...
Can you see a correlation?
No, but that's
even a correlation.
It's a simple question. It means the relationship goes way back.
No, but you don't...
It's an ongoing
Can you do something when you have not... So
in 2021, hold on.
2021,
when you begin to rev up your political machine again, 2018 was the 2019 election. You should know that. 2001, 2021 was when he now began to rev up his political machine. That's when you make appointments. That's when. That's how... You think politicians wake up in 2022 to begin to make appointments?
So the point I'm making is that it was appointed in 2021. And
towards the primaries now.
So the question is that he's been playing roles in 2018 when he was not appointed.
No, it shows you that he had a personal relationship. Don't you understand me? I'm trying, hold on. I'm struggling hard to explain this to you. Somebody makes an email to me in 2018 that, look, His Excellency has asked me to contact you to say, what role do you want to play for me within my organization? Do you understand me? That's the 2018. People listening to me at home understand me, what I'm saying. It means that I have a relationship already with you. And so the person is writing an email to say, look, oh boy, what do you want to do for me? I'm explaining to you in common street language. Oh boy, now wow, action don't start. What role do you like to play for me? That's the meaning of that email. In fact, that email authenticates the fact that there was a previous personal relationship. And then, let me ask you this. Do you think some of these charlatans hanging around Atiku Abubakar now looking for survival, I know how much they pay them. Many of us are doing this free of charge. Now, do you think Atiku exchanges private emails with some of those people? They don't even know anything about his personal life and family. This is a gentleman, Shehu, that managed not only Atiku Abubakar, he managed the personal family of Atiku. Look at part 2 of the Atiku Gate. He was also managing the family of Atiku Abubakar. That was how close they were. And so the source is authentic. Now, whether you say the whistleblower was not doing well or whether he did, that is not our business at this point. I also want people to please go and look at the thread of his Twitter handle at Lion of Jada. Look at the thread. You will see that from 2017 to 2018, he has been promoting Atiku Abubakar over the years in his Twitter thread. And then at a point within the Twitter thread, he got angry. He alleged within the Twitter thread that he had left the organization of Atiku Abubakar and he burnt 40,000 copies or 4,000 copies of a book he wrote in honor of Atiku Abubakar. This is somebody who has sat down and wrote a biography. Take note. You cannot write a biography without being into a very personal and close relationship with somebody who tells you everything about himself. So this boy wrote a book about Atiku Abubakar, a biography. And after he wrote the biography, I don't know what happened. He burnt all the books.
So
they are there.
Yeah. So let's try to wrap up this conversation. To what end, or what do you hope to achieve with this?
To bring justice for the Nigerian people, not for me. The Nigerian people deserve justice on this issue.
So
first of all, every single money that was paid into that marine float account must be recovered from whoever is the person. And even the person is dead now, is not alive, recover it from his personal representatives. Nigeria must recover its money. Now, because that means every money that was paid into that account was public fund, was money stolen from Nigeria. So they should recover that. Are you not happy that somebody is doing this?
Yeah,
recover on behalf of you?
You saw Senator Dino Melaye yesterday, and he said Atiku is the most investigated Nigerian.
Now we know why they could not catch him. It's now been blown open. His cover has been blown open. Why was he not gotten? Why? He was using SPV. So, that period they were boasting about, they come here to boast about, between 1999 and 2007, Atiku ran the economy. Lie. It is now known as the SPV years. They cannot talk about those years again. And then guess what? Another cover was blown open today. He has been boasting that he was head of the economic management team. Today, my big sister, Obieze Kwesili, tweeted and bust his cover. He said, "You were never head of that. I was part of that government." It was Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. He was lying to the Nigerian people.
He was the chairman of the National
Economic Council that makes recommendations to the president. They don't take any decision. So this man who wants to lie his way to the villa, who wants to be dubious to get into that, God has exposed him to the Nigerian people.
Let's on the final note, you heard what the INEC chairman said, that there is a possibility of a hanging poll on the 25th, and they are ready for it. And so it comes to the point of the permutations that have been made that the election may not be concluded on a forced ballot. Is your party ready for that?
It will be concluded decisively. I repeat again, decisively on the first ballot. The composition of Kwankwanso, Peter Obi, and Atiku Abubakar were on the same ticket. They promoted the same ticket in 2019. We beat them with 4 million votes. They got 12 million, 11 points. We got 15 million votes. That 11 million votes has been divided to 3 now. Kwankwanso, Obi, and Atiku. And our 15 million remains the same, and even more. That's a simple explanation to you.
Festus Keyamo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, thank you so much indeed for talking to us tonight. It's an interesting night that you're wearing suits. You've not been in a white shirt, black suits in a long time.
I'm rebooting to the activist mode before I began to wear this thing as a politician.
Are you thinking you might lose the election, so you're going back to...
No, we not lose. I like to go back to my practice. I'm missing the courts.
All right.
You see the passion? I want to argue again at the Supreme Court.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah.